welcome to M Angel Says. I'm M Angel and I am reviewing The Bachelorette Hannah season. Today we are talking about episode 10, Fantasy Suite Week, as Hannah said herself. The episode starts off with a classic Hannah rap where she jumps into somebody's arms and wraps her legs around them, and it's Peter by the beach in Greece. Peter and Hannah go sailing. Peter said that he could taste the life with Hannah, all this fun and excitement and traveling. He wants more. He likes it. I don't know if you noticed or picked up on anything, but I personally felt like there was an emotional distance inside of Hannah. At some point, she's on top of Peter and she checks his nose with her finger, boop, you. But there's no emotional connection there. It's almost like she's forcing herself to feel something. But you can tell that Peter is definitely in La La Land because he is kissing her with a lot more feeling. The way he's touching her, the way he's engaging, the way he's just open about his feelings now and really showing love. I think her meeting his family made things more concrete and more tangible, and he could really see her implanted into his life, and he was like, yeah, this works, and my family liked her, and the vibe was great, and the energy was positive, and it opened up his emotional center, just what is it, a Cadbury egg? Yeah. But Hannah's just lustful. She says, funnily enough, that he's the one holding back. Lies, you are. Her body language is just off when they're talking about feelings. Maybe she's thinking, ugh, I've seen this guy cry way too many times now, we know that Hannah likes a very masculine energy. She likes a typical, what you would call societal masculinity, a rougher man. And I don't know, maybe he's just too in touch with his feminine energy for her. I don't know. So many times you can read it in his body and his face. He wants to say, I love you, but he hesitates. And then he finally says it. And she's like, ah. But she was awkward. She kissed him and then she was just like, yay. She did a high-pitched yay or something. It was awkward. It was like, oh, thanks, great. They read the fantasy suite card and they agree to go. And before leaving, he's like, guess what? I love you. Oh, so cute. It made me melt. I don't know how you felt about it. But Hannah was just like, okay, let's go. Okay, well, their room is in a lighthouse. I have mild claustrophobia, I guess. I felt like everything was small and tight, and I did not like it. I really did not like it. The absence of windows and light and things. Oof, just looking at this picture is making me nervous. You know what it looked like? It looked like Aladdin's prison when he meets Jafar as old man Jaff. Yes, that prison cell. That's what it looked like, except that they added light bulbs, not even lights, light bulbs, and bed. So they go into the treasure chest and they find, rubbers. I am shocked at how forward The Bachelor is being now about this. They are being very open and direct. Usually they really try to maintain that aura of, oh, this is the Bachelor, Bachelorette, it's about love, it's not about the physical. How dare we? 2019, y'all. We all know what they want. We all know what people do when they get married, even before they get married nowadays. So let's be real. It's good they're promoting safe relations. Good on them. Oh, the next morning they did the typical montage that they do now. They film a bird, they film bees, and you're like, oh, the birds and the bees, we get it. Hannah looks disconnected in the bed with him. She looks like she's forcing smiles. Even in her one-on-one, she's like, it was really nice. It didn't go really well. No, I don't think it was an amazing experience. So funny. Peter said at a moment, we came together, and we were like, oh, yes, you did. But were you really paying attention to Hannah's face when she was thinking it over and recapping the evening? She would frown a lot. It's like she was remembering things that she's trying not to remember, But her face couldn't lie. Blankness in her face. And this moment where she's on his lap and he's like, I don't want to say goodbye. She's frowning and like she doesn't know how she's gonna break up with him. That's what that face looked like to me. Well, there you go. What did you think about Peter and her interaction after the fantasy suites? I would love to hear from you in the comment section. Next up is Tyler. Classic Hannah rap. Wrap around Tyler. Oh yes. Tyler has so much thug appeal. I live for it. I realize that I often say that I like a guy with thug appeal, but people don't understand what I'm talking about. They're like, you want a thug? I don't understand. I'm referencing the song Bring It All to Me by the group Black and JC Chazé from NSYNC. He has a line where he's like, are you feeling my Timbs, my baggy jeans, my thug appeal? And I was like, oh, thug appeal. You know, it's just like a really cute, classic guy, but he's got a bit of an urban edge to him. And you're just like, you come from the suburbs, but you down. You know what I mean? Anyway, yes, Tyler has that thug appeal because he's like, hey, girl, I missed you. That's what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh, boy. Oof. He got really risque on that massage table. Boy took things into his own hands, literally. They were kissing in a very rated R manner. Boom. I will say PG-13. Fine. They kept saying, I like kissing you way too much. Woof. I can only imagine, clearly. At a moment, he's talking about fantasy suites with Hannah, and he's just like, it would be an amazing opportunity. He wants to give her all of him. The full package. I'm sure you do, sir. God, Hannah, can I just like live your life right now? When they were at dinner talking about the earlier events, he was like, how many masseuses get to kiss you like that? And she was just like, it was really nice. And she looked down. You could tell she was uncomfortable. She even said it clearly. She's worried about their emotional connection. She knows the physical is there. Check. She wants the emotional component to catch up to the physical component and feels like it's not matured enough yet. So I think she was kind of disappointed when he climbed on top of her. If she's anything like me, when you're like into a guy and you actually like him and all he can do is make sexual innuendos or try to kiss you or he's like very physical with you, you're just like, oh, that's all you want. It's extremely deflating and disappointing. Oh God, you just want my body, you don't care about my mind or anything else. And I love it. She makes it sound like she's not gonna take him to fantasy suites, but she basically just tell him, hey, no hanky-panky in the fantasy suites if you and I go in there together. Got it? Clear? He promises he won't pressure her. He wants to spend time with her. I love that. Honestly, guys, if any of you are watching, you really need to understand. For us women, I think all of my friends, unanimously, we are more turned on by the guy who respects us, and when we say no, he stops. It makes you want to come and get him more. You're like, oh, so I said I'm not ready, and you're just like, I respect your boundaries. I'm gonna sit here on the sidelines. Oh, baby, bring it all to me. Now you're the one going to fetch him. I know it's a turn on for me. Definitely a guy who shows respect and restraint. So incredibly sexy. But it's funny, again, Tyler expresses his feelings but doesn't really show them. He's like, I love you. I'm so falling for you. But it's like, wait, are you falling in love or are you already in love? It's confusing. The next morning, they casually stroll out of that boat like, breakfast. Yeah, you could tell they did not get it on. She even confirms it. They didn't hanky-pank, and it made her want him more. So I'm not just saying these things. It's real. It's true. I don't know. Tyler always seems to say the right things, but he makes it all about her. I want our first time to be organic. I want us to do it when you are ready to do it. You. It's all about you. What about we, people? What is it with guys? You guys can either say me or you don't know the we. Get to know it, not the we, but the we. I thought it was so cute that she cried saying goodbye to him. Oh, bye, Tyler. Next up, we have Jed. Jed is homeboy. Jed expresses that he didn't have the best time with his last encounter with her because, he was almost cut up against Luke. Not the best place to be, I understand. So he was angry and sad. Their greeting was kind of cold. It was kind of awkward. You can tell that there's like an elephant in between them. That elephant is called Luke. But the moment they start to look at each other in the eyes, oh my God, they both melted. Jed melted immediately when he was like, I missed you. And she was like, I really miss you too. And then, they were all warm again. It was like, they remembered that, oh yeah, I actually love you. I love how she's dressed compared to the other dates where she's all skimpy clad, scantily clad. Yes. But now she's just like a real date, dancing with foreigners and being all cutesy and couple-like. Wow, the producers are insidious. I don't know if they hired this Greek producer to like ask questions and make them incredibly uncomfortable. Asking Hannah, so you guys are gonna get married? Have you chosen him? Like, what's going on? Oh yeah, right before that, I love how they drank something and Hannah's like, oh, it's not water. what did he give her? And they're like, Greek Viagra. I was like, okay. Oh. I love Jed had like a moment before realizing what the man said. He was like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, that conversation was just awkward where she's just like, no, I haven't decided yet. Has to say it in front of the guy. There are other guys in my life right now, and I'm playing the field. I'm dating them, and I don't know who I want to end up with just yet. So the woman is just like, what does it boil down to? Like, what do you need in order to decide? Woo! She has to make it look like she hasn't decided, because where's the fun? You got 4 guys. You can't be like, yes, he's the one. Duh. And Hannah gets scared because she doesn't want Jed to feel defeated or unwanted. When he pulls her aside to have a conversation with her, she looks terrified. She looks like she's on the verge of tears already. Like she's so afraid he's gonna break up with her. He flat out asks about Luke, and she's just like fumbling through her words and doesn't know what to say. And she's like, well, how honest do you want me to be? Girl, what kind of question is that? Of course he wants you to be 1,000,000% honest. How honest are you allowed to be? I feel like there's a producer in the back with a red envelope, an NDA that she signed, and he'd be fanning himself with it behind the cameras, just staring at her like, remember this fresh lawsuit waiting to happen? Remember, Hannah, you cannot tell the boy that Luke is here for show. So basically all she can say is that there's a connection. The connection is called legal binding, is what it is. She's trying to telepathically communicate with him. Trust me, this is the show. Don't get sucked in. Don't get tricked by it. Focus on our relationship. I really am here for you right now. Boy, I'm not gonna pick Luke over you. Are you insane? Hey, maybe the producers talked to Jed and told him, listen, you gotta act a little more scared here. Maybe he knows that it's for the show, but he's acting too, and she doesn't know that he's acting, and he doesn't know that she's acting, so it makes it look realistic. Insidious. But Jed just seems like a really down-to-earth real guy. Like, he's just legitimately concerned. Hannah's into Luke? I don't understand. Why is he still here? He asks her the legitimate questions. If you have so many doubts about this guy, why is he still here? Oh, but she looks so worried, and that hug, man. Can we just talk about her date night negligee? Girl! Oh! Half lace? This dress. Oh! Love. During their dinner toast, she's about to cry again. Girl is very worried about losing him. She really wants him to trust her. She thanks him for bringing up his concerns again, right? He thanked her for acknowledging that he had concerns. I love she's just like, okay, we good? We're good? Can we move on from this topic? Actually, no. It affected how I feel about you. I don't know how to feel about you anymore. He says that it says a lot about her. She's like, what does it say about me? That you've got a hard time letting go of things that aren't good for you. Ooh-wee. So naturally, if that's how he thinks she is, it makes him uncertain, and it makes his feelings retract, because he's like, that's kind of unattractive in a person who doesn't know what's good for them. Now, this was a hard conversation. Obviously, mama is pissed. Really, my man? That's how it's gonna be? She gets up to leave. She is frustrated. Why is she so frustrated? Because she can't tell him the truth, and because she wants him to read between the lines. She's like, Jed, meet me halfway, you fool. She's probably upset with him for not being smart enough to understand that this is all show. She's afraid that she's going to lose him because of this nonsense and this acting. She has so many frustrations and emotions because she can't actually be honest right now at this point in the process. But in the end, she loves him, he loves her, they find each other, and she is so giddy at the fact that he's worried. You know, this shows legitimate feelings. It shows he cares. He really cares. I don't know if you caught it at some point, but she winked at him. Now, maybe for everyone that's nothing, but for me, that was everything. She was telling him with that wink, I got you. Don't worry about this. We good. I was just like, y'all, just go to the fantasy suite so you can talk about it without the cameras, without the microphones, and tell him everything. But obviously, I bet she can't tell him during the date, listen, I will answer all of your questions in the fantasy suite. Because that is way too obvious, right? And the show will kill her. Like, what? Girl, no, you have to answer these questions right now, up front. Don't make it look like we're hiding things from the audience. Now that's a fantasy suite. Large and in charge. Lovely decorum. So exciting. Oh, the passion. So the next day, look at how wrapped up in each other they are. Oh my God. Now, if this is not the ideal next day scenario, I don't know what is. They are connected. They are touching. They are skin to skin. There's so much love in their little eyes. Not just lust. No, love. She is so happy. Glowing. Beautiful. And he is so intense. Like, oh my God. He's like, you are the one, girl. I want you. Oh, the giddiness. I love saying goodbye to him. Oh my gosh, she could not let go of him. And she was so cute looking at him walk away like, that's my man, that's my boo. Oh, it's my boo thing. You know, for Colton's season of The Bachelor, last one, I was so sure with Hannah G. They had all of the signs of a perfect relationship. And then he blindsided America by choosing Butterfly Girl. So as much as I want to say this is a done deal, I don't know anymore. But you know what? Apparently bachelorettes have a better track record than the bachelors. They actually stay with their men. I don't know. Could it be motives? But could it be that the bachelorettes are actually on the show to find a husband and the bachelors are there to hook up with many women? I don't know. Could be. Who knows? But anyhow, all I'm saying is that this feels like a done deal, and we'll see. We'll see. And finally, her last date is with Luke. Dun dun dun. I think they are actually showing us in order of shooting, chronologically. And if that's the case, I'm sorry, but after her night with Jed, how can Mama want to see Luke? He killed any curiosity she had, even sexually, for that boy. It's like, how do you follow up Beyonce on stage? How? Look at her leaning away when he's kissing her. She doesn't want him anymore. They're in that helicopter. She isn't paying him no mind. Girl is looking at the scenery. She's on the other side of the helicopter. Her legs are closed. His hand is in her lap, but girl's not there. Look at how cold this kiss is. Look at how cold. She still says that he is the best kisser. Ooh, well then, at least he has that. Honestly, personally, kissing is my favorite thing to do with a guy. As much as a great conversation, obviously. So I can understand her wanting to keep him for that. You know, just like get as much kissing out of him as you can before it's over. I love at a moment she says we are completely entangled in every way. Every legally binding way we are entangled. I love it when he says, like, I see my future wife in you. She frowns. She can't even act. She can't even pretend. She is so wonderful. Woo, I love her face. At the dinner, oh my God. First of all, she looks fantastic. She tanned correct. Luke is talking about how cute she is, how he likes this and that about her, how this thing made him laugh. Recapping the day. Mama couldn't care less. She listens and then she's like, well, a toast, shall we? She cheers with him and drinks immediately. Like, wow, she didn't even stop to like toast. She was like, cheers. Because she knows, let him talk and he will find a way to mess things up. Eventually, he's good at this. He talks about the weight of being a spiritual leader. God complex much? And he talks about being sexless for 3 to 4 years. Wow. Wow. Like, no wonder he is so intense and kind of crazy. Oh my God. I go a month and a half, I become a monster. 3 to 4 years? Nah, see, life just isn't worth it if you have to wait that long. I don't think that Jesus ever said that this was the way to live. Then he says what we're all waiting to hear. He tells her he doesn't want her to sleep with the other men. And that if he were to learn that she did, he would go home. And I smiled and said, the nail in the coffin. Bravo. Telling an independent, grown woman what she can or cannot do with her body. Finally, she's gonna get rid of him. I was just so excited. He did it. He did the worst thing you can do. Mama's just like, wait, excuse me? First of all, you don't have the right to tell me what I can or cannot do with my body at this point. We're not married. I'm still single. I'm still dating. Second of all, no, I decide what I can and cannot do. If you don't like it, kick rocks. As usual, he pulls a Luke. Luke does what he does best. He backtracks. He says, I don't take it lightly when I say that I love you. If you did sleep with someone else or whatever, we can get through this. We all make mistakes. I can get past this. And oh my God, keep putting your foot in your mouth. Keep eating that foot, boy. Deeper and deeper. My goodness. He says, you know what? No, I don't want to be misunderstood again because it seems to be a pattern. Misunderstood? My ninja, you're saying these words. These are the words coming out of your mouth. There's nothing to misunderstand. You're the one who is saying the truth and then hating the way the truth makes people feel. Finally, she can react the way she wanted to, the way she's been holding back for so long because the NDA, the contract has finally come to an end. Now is the moment for her to like, Kill Bill this motherfucker. Sorry, it's time to end their interaction. I mean, this conversation was crazy on both ends. They were both saying nonsensical things. She says, how dare you try to nix me just because of this one thing, when I've kept you despite hating so many things about you. Well, first of all, that's crazy in and of itself. That's crazy, Hannah. You shouldn't be keeping someone. You shouldn't be loving them despite, just to be what, noble? No. You know what you want. Fight for what you want. He knows what he wants. He should fight for what he wants. He has the right to. He has the right to say, I don't want to be with a woman who's dating me and sleeping with other guys. Okay, that's your prerogative. Leave. She has the right to be like, I don't want to date someone who tells me what to do with my body. Girl, let him go. You got the right. You got the right. There's nothing ungodly or unsaintly or wrong with telling someone, you know what, you're not a right fit for me. You don't have to force the love. Duh. He says, I said things I don't mean. Duh. Backtracking. If you slipped up, slipped up what? She didn't slip up, okay? She made decisions. Ugh, condescension on a million. She brings up that story in the Bible. Is it Jezebel? I don't know. The lady who had affairs, adultery or whatever. And Jesus was like, yo, y'all about to stone this woman? He who is without sin cast the first stone. I'm surprised that in the Bible, nobody casts a stone because people are out here lying. I know I'd sinning all the time, but bah! But apparently the eye of Jesus is so intense that they could feel their own sins and all drop the rocks. She starts to preach. She says she has God in her. She says that she is light. She says that she ain't Jesus. She ain't perfect. Preach, mama. Tell him his truth. She tried. She screamed. She says she finally has clarity on him. She doesn't want him as a husband. Go. Now come on. I love it. She gets up and she's like, come on, get to stepping. Let me take you home. Come on. Come on, come on, what you doing? And he's just like, thinking of what to say. How can I save myself in the situation? She's just like, it's over. Your car's waiting. The motor's been running since the beginning of this date. I told the driver to keep it moving. He's been doing circles around the block. You just have to jump in. The car's open. It'll drive by, jump in and leave. I thought it was so fitting that there was a storm during this conversation. It was raining on them. How fitting. I love how he wants to explain and she's like, no, there's nothing to say. There's nothing to explain. He says, you owe me a minute, and mama almost blew a gasket. Blew a gasket. She was like, owe you. How can you manage to even dare to say that I owe you anything? I have been more than patient with you. Get out. Yeah, I thought she was very unreasonable by saying Luke only wants to love people who have the same values as him. Oh, duh. That's like what everybody wants. He doesn't think you can just do what you want with your body, and you don't want him because he doesn't have the same values as you. He still refuses to leave. He's like, I'm gonna fight for this. This felt very staged at this point. It felt unnatural, him standing his ground and her being like, okay, this is gonna make you leave. I had sex, and guess what? Jesus still loves me, and I did it in a freaking windmill. Twice. Be gone. Now he's just like, excuse me, madame. And then I said, can I pray with you before leaving? And she's just like, no, you may not. Oh my gosh, she is so happy he is finally gone and out of her life. Or so she thinks. Like any good horror movie, if you didn't do a headshot, the killer, villain, monster will always come back. She said, I answer to the Lord. I don't answer to the Luke. Oh, she flips him the bird. Wow, this was just like so much bitterness. Anyhow, that was a lot to digest. It was one of the best fantasy suites ever, if not the best I've ever seen. I'm satisfied, but also incredibly jealous of what she and Jed have. Oh! It's your turn to talk. Comment section below. What did you think of fantasy suites? Were you disappointed? Were you satisfied? What was your favorite moment? I would love to hear all of your thoughts in the comment section, please. Before you go, please do me a solid. Like this video to show your appreciation. Subscribe to Angel Says if you want more content and to be notified when the content arrives. And you can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Angel Says, one word. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun recapping, and I will see you on the next episode. Cheers. Be good. Bye.